What up, family? It's your favorite cousin, your favorite uncle, your favorite nephew, your favorite father, your favorite son, your best friend's best friend. It's me, Dr. Larry, and welcome to Living For You, the YouTube channel. This is a safe space, a positive place in which we come into these internet streets and we grow and we learn from one another. We coach and we develop, and because we're all on the same journey, and so we come here to share our knowledge and information and just become better persons who are living a wonderful present life, the life that we all deserve. You deserve, I deserve it, we all deserve to have just the best experience of life. To my lovely family, welcome back. Thank you for coming. You guys always come to the table and you sit and you work with me and we talk and we grow, you comment, you share. It's a wonderful experience and I thank you for coming. To those of you who are new, because yes, our numbers are going up, thank you for joining the family. I love you anyway, but joining the family, you have familiar family love, and that's a pretty big thing, right? A pretty big thing. And to those of you who watch, because there are many of you who watch who have yet to subscribe, hit the subscribe button. It might be here, but wherever it is, when you see this, hit the button and subscribe to the channel. Why not? It's a great place. There are some of you who have never seen my face, never seen this sweater. I've worn this sweater before. I am Dr. Larry Smith. I'm a certified life and spiritual coach, among so many other things, but my business is Live For You Coaching, which is a life and spiritual coaching firm in which I help people deal with a trauma, and we try to get people to be more present and live a more present life and live now and be fully engaged in loving what they're having now. So if you want to know more about me and that business and so many other things, the book, whatever, you can go to www.liveforyoucoaching.com. That's www.liveforyoucoaching.com. And if you just want to follow me on social media, where I'm actively all the time posting and doing things, I'm always commenting and all kinds of things. You see me in a lot of different areas. You can actually follow my social media at on both Instagram and Facebook at Dr. Larry Smith. That's Facebook and Instagram, Dr. Larry Smith, and you can follow me, or you can participate with me, or you can engage me, or comment with me, and all kinds of things that we got out there. So I know we're going into 2022. It's kind of a tongue tie, right? 2022, we're moving forward. We're at the end of 2021. And I wanted to get on here and give something that I think is useful to everybody going into a new year. And it's pretty much kind of financial advice, but it's not financial advice. It's just things that I think are important, in my important financial advice or financial suggestions that I have. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not a financial expert. And a lot of what I'm sharing with you, I've learned along the way of life. I've learned through studying and reading and watching YouTube channels and talking to friends who know about the subjects and everything. And I just decided to implement some of these things into my life. And so you don't have to implement it into your life. These are just my financial suggestions, if you want to say it. But I didn't go to school for finance. I didn't do any of that. So it's more, I recommend that if you want really concrete, strong advice from a financial expert, get you a financial expert or anybody, or Google stuff. You have all kinds of information on the internet that can help you with your own personal financial walk. But I wanted to kind of just talk about some of the things that I think are important going into 2022 as it relates to finances. Number one, it is important to get your credit together. Yes, work on your credit. Get your credit score up. Clear your credit out. Dealing with your credit, go and contact your debtors. Go and contact your credit collectors and all these people and get your credit together. Because believe it or not, credit is super important. I know there are gurus out there who say credit isn't important. I'm telling you from my own personal experience and from my own life walk, I found credit to be super duper important for me. And I can speak from that perspective on being on both sides, where having good credit and then on the side of not having good credit. And I can tell you which experience did not feel good and which one was great. So it is important that you dive in and at least work on building your credit up, because that's going to be how you get housing as it relates to like apartments or renting, or even if you want to buy and purchase your automobile, if you want to start businesses and so many other things to get business credit, other lines of credit. You got to have your credit together. So my number one bit of advice is get your credit together. Go and deal with that. The second thing that I would say is it's important to pay yourself first. What do I mean by that? I mean that when you pay yourself first, you're actually putting money for yourself aside for future use. So say if you want to take a trip, or say if you want to invest in some properties, or say you want to invest in the stock market or other things, you have to have the money to do so. And many times we pay all of the bills and at the end of the month there was nothing put aside for ourselves. I actually make an intention at the end of every month to at least have placed $100 that I do not spend outside of putting back just a hole. And I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but it adds up. That's $1,200 a year. That's $12,000 in 10 years. If you put that in an account where it's high interest, and there are many different places you can learn about high interest savings account, you'll earn interest on that money just by consistently putting it to the side for future use. You never know what can come up. Car troubles, house troubles, family issues, medical emergencies. There's a lot of things that can come up. And so it is important that you put money aside for yourself before you pay anybody else. You know, just put a little bit of money aside. The third thing is, I think I'm on the third, right? The third thing is have multiple streams of income. I read somewhere, and I hear it all the time, that the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. It is important that you do that, whether it is starting a little business, or whether it is investing for dividends and for repayments, whether it's investing in property, rental property, but you should have at least 7 streams of income. And I know that takes time, so that's why it's important, the number 2 step, to pay yourself so that you can develop the revenue to be able to invest into 7 streams of income, and then eventually you'll just be getting paid off of your streams of income. And so if one goes away, you have 6 others. Why am I saying that? Well, in 2020 we experienced the pandemic. And what happened during that pandemic was so many people lost their jobs, and they were strictly dependent on the government for resources, for a stimulus check to help them to get through from day to day. I will be honest, when I got the stimulus check, I didn't need the stimulus check. I used the stimulus checks that I did get to further my education on different ways to get more income. So for example, I signed up for a class on trading, specifically the Swag Academy, if you want to know. Because I think Swag C is cool and he's a very skilled trader. So I invested in that in part of it. I invested in other business ventures and other investment things to try to build up passive income, passive streams of income, so that if I want, I don't have to work for my money. My money is working for me. So it's highly, 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 if you could, going into 2022, get you multiple streams of income. Get you multiple streams of income. My fourth thing that I would say as far as economic advice going into the years, eventually you want to buy. Eventually you will want to buy. What I mean by that is we can rent our apartments, our houses, we can, finance our cars, but eventually you want to have something that your name is on the title. Your name is on the deed. It's yours. And so when you have that collateral is very, 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 very important and very impressive to creditors and to other people. That's a good solid form of collateral that is yours. That's yours. So you want to at least get to a place of ownership of something that is yours, that you can, and not just in the sense of for collateral for creditors and to get credit and things like that, but you also want it in the sense to have something in your lineage to pass down from generation to generation that's not going to be yours and be bringing you blessings and benefits today, but going to bless and benefit people in your lineage on down the line. It's yours. It's yours. And And I speak about this because I'm so passionate about that aspect, because I watch my people, and I'm specifically talking to black people. We just let go grandmama's house. We just let it go and drift away, and we don't hold on to those legacies and to those things to pass down to our kids. And then what winds up happening is the loss. We're left without building wealth, or we're left without building any type of legacy or lasting legacy. Build that legacy, because your legacy is super important. Number 5, and I think I'm on number 5, exercise. Work out. Do some type of physical fitness for yourself. And I know you're thinking, like, how is physical fitness connected to my economic well-being? Your 2 biggest things that you have in life is your time and your earning potential, your earning power. So if you are not healthy, sound, and doing well, then your earning power is going to be reduced. This is an asset. Your body is an asset. It's a blessing. It's something that will earn you and will do well for you if you do well to it. So in connection with that, get you some insurance, get you some life insurance, get you some health insurance, so that you have the ability to maintain this, your earning power, your livelihood, what keeps you going and what's able to sustain you. Connected to that is, and exercise is to get rest. To get rest. Do not overwork yourself. Yes, you have goals, and you have to set goals. Goals are important. And I should have said that number 1. Set goals, write your goals down, know what your goals are, plan for what your goals are going to be. But at the end of the day, you got to rest. Because that's all a function of keeping your body and your energy and your mind strong, so that you're able to move forward and do what you need to do. Number 6. I think I'm number 6. I'm losing track. Delegate when you can delegate. Do only what you can do. Don't do something if it's not in your skill set. There are plenty of other people. Like when it came, for example, if you go look at my website, if you go look at some of my business websites, I'm not a web developer. If you go look at some of my social media, I'm not a social media builder person. There are things I've learned about social media along doing my work, doing this, but at the end of the day, I'm not an expert. So I hired experts to do that stuff, and it looks great. It looks great, and it's like almost like I'm a boss. I delegate. You know, even when it comes to designs, you guys, one of my streams of income is a clothing line, Creole Boy clothing. I'm Creole Boy. You'll learn more about that as time goes on. I'm not a designer. I don't design shirts, but I was able to hire designers to make me some phenomenal designs that I know people are just going to love. Because I'm like, these are hot. This is hot, you know? So, you know, either way, you know, delegate when you need to delegate to people who are experts. Rely on the experts. Trust people who know what they're doing to do what they do, and allow them to do what they do. Even if it's a little cost behind it, the output, the productivity of it, the outcome is going to be phenomenal. So allow them to do what they do. And the last one, do what you enjoy. Live a life of passion in 2022. Live a life of passion. If you're doing what you enjoy and it's making you money, or it's bringing your livelihood up, or it's just you're just enjoying it, do it. You got, even if it's not your money revenue, if it's something you enjoy on the side, do it. Life should not be about the struggle and the pain and the down and trodden and the hurt. It should be something you enjoy. So don't waste all of your years of your life doing something you don't enjoy just because you feel you have to. Find time for what you enjoy. I'll use this as the perfect example myself. For the last 40 years of my life, I've always did what other people wanted me to do. For the last 20 years of my life, I've been teaching, and I enjoy teaching. I enjoy this, and I enjoy being in the classroom and lecturing. But I also realized that I had bigger goals than just lecturing in lecture halls. You know, 200 people or 20 people or 30 people. I enjoy that, but I knew I had bigger aspirations than that. I knew I wanted to start a YouTube channel, so I did it last year. You know, I knew, and I have so many other goals. So I have made it my personal venture going forward to do things on my terms. And I want to be self-employed. I want to, before I'm 42, make $1 million. And not make $1 million and it's just gone. Make $1 million and be considered a multi-millionaire before I'm 42 or sooner. But that requires me to do things I'm passionate about, taking risk, and going forward. But I am certain, I am making up in my mind, the universe hears me and aligns with me. I'm going to attain every goal that I'm setting out to attain. Why? Because I'm passionate about it and I'm doing what I'm passionate about. So that is the ultimate advice that any financial expert can give you, is to live and do what you're passionate about, because it will bless you. It will bless you. And wrapped up in that, you use that to bless other people, because it's never a selfish endeavor. Even though we talked about personal finance and I tried to give you some of my best tips that I can think of off the top of my head, at the end of the day, we're doing it for the better good of humanity. We're doing it for the greater good and the higher glory of everything that there is. So bless other people as you are blessed along the way. You know, keep your faith strong. You know, keep your, I mean, I can give you so many advice. I was numbering them. I lost count now. Hell, I don't know where I, what number, 10, 20, I don't know where I'm at. But keep your faith strong. Hold on to something solid and walk in it. Walk in your integrity. Keep your truth. While this doesn't seem like financial advice, faith is very financial. Because I'm blessed because I believe. I have because there's hope. My finances are free because I have faith. Right? I have faith. Faith is super important to me, and it's super important to my financial walk. My ultimate thing for this whole video is that you take steps to be better next year financially than you were this year. Do better. Be better. Be better. Be better. That's the only hope for this video, is that yes, there's financial things that you should consider, but your goal ultimately is to be better next year than you were this year. So I just had to get on and talk about that. I felt that on my spirit and my heart to speak about. Like I said, I'm not a financial expert, but we're learning. I'm learning these things, and I always tell people that part of the reason why I'm an educator, part of the reason why I do what I do, is because when I learn something, I'm almost compulsed. It's almost compelled. That's the word I want to use. I could probably use compulsed too, but I'm almost compelled always to share what I know, because I don't want to fly solo. I'd rather fly in a flock. And so for me, I just share things and pass it along. You can pass it to somebody else, and they can pass it to somebody else. And we all have room to eat and breathe in this space. So let's all eat. Let's all eat in 2022. Let's make 2022 on our terms. Let's move forward on our terms. Are we going to do that? Okay, let's do it then. As I always say, I love you with the highest love I can possibly love you. And I will see you all, family and friends, in the next video.